Welcome to PolandTrade.info. Poland Trade is a directory of information about international trade with Poland. It focuses on a catalog of Polish exporting companies organized by an industrial sector. There's also a branch on moving your company to Poland. What's motivating this work? Well, in 2017, Poland changed the name of their trade agency from Polska Agencja Inwestycji Zagraniczne to the English Poland Trade and Investment Agency, PITA. And more importantly, they changed their strategy. They used to only help foreign companies move to Poland, and now they're also helping Polish companies export. The problem, and they're investing a lot of money in this, 36 million zlotys. They're opening 70 offices around the world, and they're hiring 120 people to help Polish companies export. The national branch is organizing 8 international conferences, and the individual local regional offices all around the world are exhibiting at additional trade shows, conferences, and giving presentations. Great publicity for Poland. The problem is that no one knows what Poland exports. These 120 people don't know all the products and services that Poland produces, and they're too busy to spend all day searching to find out what those products and services are. And it's a particularly difficult problem because Poland exports a lot. Poland has a rich and diverse economy. Here we have from the World Trade Atlas, organized by industrial sector and subsector, laid out as a image. The same data is available as a tree. They organized it as a circular tree, and you can zoom in to a particular industrial sector, the subsectors that depend upon it, but this doesn't cover the individual companies, let alone the products that those companies export. There's just a huge amount of complexity in the Polish economy. A different solution is needed. So let's take a look at this different solution. Let's take a look at the demo. PolandTrade.info organizes this information as a tree. So let's take a look at the top level of the tree. Here we have Polish cities and regions, international trade with Poland, organized by industrial sector, information about exporting with Poland, and information about Polish software developers. Let's zoom into the part that's organized by industrial sector. So here you have semiconductors, life sciences, other industries, aviation, Polish software firms, transportation, venture capital in Poland. I'm particularly focused on software, so let's take a look at the software section. Mining is also about to get very large, mining equipment. So here we have business applications, educational applications, famous Polish software companies, fintech, everyone likes that one. Generic outsourcing companies, that's where the bulk of the industry is. IoT in Poland, mobile market, game companies. Actually, 40% of the Polish trade is from business processing outsourcing. So let's take that, which includes software. Let's take a look at generic outsourcing companies. And so here you have a table. There are already 28 companies listed here. On the left, you have the company name, a link to the company. On the right, you have what it is that they do. Of course, these are the generic companies, so their specialization. Once they specialize, they move off this list into something more interesting, more valuable for them, better for the user. You have a table of their jobs. More importantly, you have a table of the products, so you can see who's creating a product that's similar to what you're looking for. Then there are other links, reviews of the company, their blog, information about their clients. This company takes their employees on workations around the world, what technologies they use. So all kinds of useful information to help you select the outsourcing company that best suits your needs. You can also search on whatever information you're looking for. So let's go back to the presentation. Go on to the next slide. So these countries already have directories. Poland has 14,000 companies in the directory. The ICT, information technology sector, has 709 companies. It's just too large to find what you need. Even if they organize this optimally, they have 120 categories. It's only a 2-level directory, so even if they optimized it optimally, they'd have 120 categories, and they would still have 120 items in each category. And that's even if only if things are uniformly distributed across categories. In reality, it'd be much worse. So you need a different approach to managing all this complexity, particularly in something as large and diverse as the Polish economy. Let's take a look at the next issue. Some companies are interested in moving to Poland, and so the first question they have is where should they locate? So let's take a look, forgive me. So let's take a look at the demo for this. This is not a clickable map, but the website is clickable. And we'll scroll down to take a look at the map, and let's take a look at Katowice. So I live in Katowice, but you can click here, the major cities. Warsaw is here, Kraków, Wrocław, Tri-Cities are up, Gdańsk, Gdynia are here. You can click on whichever cities. If you're interested in some of the not as big cities, actually Katowice is now a metropolitan area. It's now the largest metropolitan area in Poland. So let's click on that one. This takes you to information about Katowice, and you can click around. Let's go take a look at another. Let's take a look at another city. Let's take a look at Warsaw, and more information about Warsaw. So you can click into whichever city you want. A lot of these cities, when you click on them, take a look at Bydgoszcz. Bydgoszcz, where's that? But if you go to Bydgoszcz, it'll actually take you to the Invest in Bydgoszcz website. There we go. There's the Invest in Bydgoszcz website. So all kinds of interesting information if you're interested in moving to Poland or moving your company to Poland. I invite you to check this out. Let's go back to the presentation. Next page. So once you know roughly in Poland which areas you're interested in, which cities you're interested in, at that point you can contact the various government agencies. So at the national level, you have Invest in Poland, and in a day they'll get back to you. Within 3 days, they will do analysis of maybe you need a greenfield site close to the airport. They'll recommend some places for you. You can look on the map of the voivodeships, and if there's a particular region that you like, you can contact. All of them have Invest in their province groups. Or if you like a particular city, there's usually, for all the major cities, maybe top 50 cities, you'll have an Invest in that city. So there's all kinds of different groups that will help provide you with information, not only about Poland, not only about resources, but there are all kinds of government incentives to help bring companies to Poland. So if you want to get the place with the best incentives, maybe they Invest in Poland because they'll know the entire market. Okay, on to the next problem. Poland has wonderful products and services, but people don't know about them. So the first reason is that the previous government was not focused on exporting Polish products and services. But the bigger problem is that there are many wonderful Polish companies, and they do not advertise that they're Polish companies. So, well, let me not mention my favorite example, but there's some web software that everyone uses. You can ask me in private what they are. There's some web software that everybody uses, and whenever I ask, they say, oh yes, we use that, but they had no idea it was a Polish company. You go to the company's English language website, it says its main office is in New York City, but since I knew it was a Polish company, I checked on their Polish language website, and there it says their main office is in Poland. Of course, not all companies are like this. I have to give a shout out to Witcher. It's a $1 billion gaming company, and they're very proud to say that they're Polish. And I'm looking for other globally famous companies to add to this page. There are some others I know of. We're seeing what other people recommend to me. And of course, we need 2 such pages. One page like this to praise the good companies like Witcher, but I'm also hoping that the government will put together a page of all those internationally famous companies that don't say that they're in Poland and either embarrass them or just make sure that they're doing their tax accounting correctly on their brand names. Okay, so who's interested in this stuff? Well, first we have this Invest in Poland, Polish investment and trade agencies. They're opening offices in 70 cities, 120 employees. The next one is the Polish Chambers of Commerce, Izba Gospodarcza. There are about 150 of those in Poland, some from the voivodeships, the provinces, some from the towns, and there are a bunch of industry-specific ones. I'm getting quite connected to the mining industry Chamber of Commerce. And then there are the international chambers of commerce overseas. So in the United States, there's 6 Polish chambers of commerce. So I estimate there may be about 100 internationally. Evidently in Iran, for the Polish Iran, there are three Polish-Iranian chambers of commerce. Two of the people recently met each other and shook hands, and one guy was, I'm the officially recognized one, and the other guy's, well, I'm also one. So I always ask if they're profit, non-profit. So how big is this market? In 2016, Poland exported $187 billion worth of goods. If better information can increase those exports by 1%, the additional tax revenue is about 100 million. So it's about $200 million. So I'm hoping that the Polish Trade and Investment Agency would have some small amount of money to support this project. I invite you to test drive the software. It's all written on top of Python servers with JavaScript clients. The JSON data is downloaded to the client, so it's incredibly fast. A number of people have asked me if it's a native app. No, it's a web-based app. It runs behind scalable Nginx caching servers, so it can handle as much traffic as needed, and it's hosted on scalable Linode servers, so it will scale up very nicely. Actually, next week I'm presenting before 700 people, so we'll see how that goes when they're all browsing it at the same time. There are a number of followers on Twitter. Business Iran is not the official Iranian Chamber of Commerce. British Polish Chamber of Commerce is the official Chamber of Commerce. Go Latin America helps Poland companies export to Latin America. Polish chambers abroad, they just got recognition for being in charge of all the international chambers of commerce. Incubator Starters, the group in Gdańsk, PCICT program is a government program that sponsors the ICT sector. WPH in Prague, actually I'm meeting with them next week. All the foreign trade offices used to be called WPHI. They're now being closed down, and they're opening up these Poland Trade and Investment Agency office. Greek-Polish Chamber of Commerce recently followed me. The Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. The whole South American community is very tied in through Spain. The technical conferences tend to be in Spain, so the Spanish-speaking is really one community. Buenos Aires WPHI office follows me. Enterprise Engineering Network. Belvedere Forum is a British group. So Poland Trade is getting very well connected to the whole Polish government industrial sector. I invite you to contact me if you have any questions. Just go to the website and click on Contact. Thank you very much for your time. Have a wonderful day.